morning. Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Donovan, editor of Digital Output Magazine. Welcome to today's talk on specialty window media. I'd like to introduce all of our guests today. They're all frequent contributors to Digital Output. First, we're going to start with Rene Bourgeois. He's the Vice President of Sales, North America, Aslan.
From 50 and specialty window media is part of our wide range of specialties. So the perfect topic for this morning. Enjoy.
Thank you, Renee. And now we're going to actually welcome in Wayne. He's with Continental Graphics. Hi, Wayne. Welcome.
Hi, Melissa. Thanks for allowing me to participate, and a big welcome to all our guests there. I'm the National Sales Manager for Continental Graphics. We're an international manufacturer of one-way vision perforated window films, as well as some other specialty adhesive bag medias. Started in 1992. We're Swiss-based, and we have offices and factories internationally in Europe, Asia, and the United States right here in Statesville, North Carolina. A lot of different applications for our products, and just really happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you, Wayne. And we're also going to welcome in Jim Halloran. He's VP Sales of Marketing at Lintech, which is our sponsor for today's webinar as well. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you. Yeah, so hi guys, my name is Jim Halloran, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Digital Media, Lintech of America. We are a subsidiary of Lintech Corporation, as is my cousin Amanda at MacTech. So glad to be here. Look forward to talking with you.
Thanks, Jim. And what a perfect segue in. Here's Amanda. She's from MacTech. Hi, Amanda. Welcome.
Hello, and thank you for having me. MacTech is a 60-year-old pressure-sensitive company based in Stowe, Ohio. We have over 600 employees working across the U.S. Our products are used in flexographic, offset, wide-format digital printing markets, as well as the industrial tape. We are part of Lintech, as stated, and I've been working with MacTech for about 3 years, and I'm a product manager for wide format media. And thank you again for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, all of you. So before we get into it, we're going to do a couple of housekeeping notes. There's a recorded version of the webinar available online afterwards, of course, so anyone can go back and revisit this wonderful conversation. We're also going to have some Q&A at the end, so please be sure to write your questions in the field and send them off to us at any point during the conversation. And of course, you can also discuss this on social media. Our handle's at @DO_magazine, and we use the hashtag RCP webinars. So here we are, we're talking about window graphics. And when it comes to windows, there's a lot of different options. There's not just, your traditional outside indoor window. There's clear partitions, clear displays, and the media options are really, well, there's a variety. They range from perforated, unperforated, cling, adhesive back, and really what we want to talk about in this realm of unperforated materials today. There's films and vinyl, and they sort of simulate the appearance of etched, dusted, frosted, or sandblasted glass. Now, Renee, could you share with our viewers today what some of the type of environments that these films are commonly used in and why?
Absolutely. So such films are used in pretty much any environment nowadays, whether it's office, gyms, retail, hospitals or banks, private households. You just think of your bathroom. But with the special adhesive technologies, we do durabilities, making those films interesting for all these environments. And while in general, the general intention for such films typically is privacy, of course, nowadays it's also an element of design for any type of glass partition, window, door, whatever, and security.
Great, thank you. And Wayne, do you have anything else to add on that? Oh, Wayne, can you perhaps unmute your mic for a sec there, please?
I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
My bad. Sorry. Okay. Let me reiterate. My apologies. Just to kind of
totally fine.
just to kind of to piggyback on Renee's comments, typically these films are used in offices, retail environments, restaurants, things like that. The thing that makes them really cool is they provide a level of privacy in an aesthetically pleasing manner. Adding the print factor to them, where they're printable, you can add to your branding and your messaging as well. But again, I think if you're looking for to provide a level of privacy, you're not just limited to those aspects. We're seeing entrance in home decor with these things, as well as even some messaging just for straight signage, or even for COVID and stuff like that.
Great, thank you. And Jim, what type of customers do you find are requesting jobs like this?
From a digital printer side, most of our customers print with UV. And as previous panel said, a lot of office interiors. A lot of times we get asked, we're getting more and more questions about, do you have products that will help us get lead points? So that's kind of the newest trend. And we do, we have some things that help with that now. So that's kind of interesting. We also do, seasonality, up until this Christmas, a lot of POP work, but, mostly office interiors.
Okay, great. Now, I think we can all agree window media is kind of a broad term. Each type performs differently in regards to durability, there's printability, and even the install process. Amanda, compared to other window media, do you find that the films with specialty finishes differ at all in terms of durability?
Yeah, that's a good question. Durability goes hand in hand with the adhesive. So typically the adhesive is rated for the type of application and then the durability. For example, static clings are temporary messaging. So that is rated for about 6 months. We have another product called MDOT, which is common to the market with the dot adhesive pattern. Those are used for repositionable applications and then ease of application as well. So the durability for those is 6 to 12 months. And then going with what everyone else has kind of talked about, the frosted, the dusted, the privacy films in office settings, ours are MacTacs are called Be Free or Glass Decor. They're a dry and wet install, same finishes, same durability. The only thing is different is how the type of installation and the printability. And those are more permanent applications, and we have about a 5-year durability. So there's 3 different examples of levels of durability for window films based on their adhesive performance.
Okay, thank you. Renee, do you have anything to add on that about durability?
Yeah, I want to agree on what Amanda said about the adhesive. That is, of course, one part which is giving the durability, also the raw material chosen. For example, we have the typical etch effect films we do. They've got a 7 years durability, but when we look into the pigmented films like glass color or the Aslan dichroic films, they've got a shorter durability simply because the pigmentation of the film over the time will just dissolve.
Okay, thank you. And Wayne, what about printability for the specialty films that are printable? Because we do need to note that some are not. Are they compatible with most ink sets?
In a perfect world, we would like every film to be printable with every device under the sun. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Some of the considerations is ink adhesion. Some printers, like some eco-solvent printers and obviously aqueous printers, need some type of ink receptor coat, which can be applied to films, but sometimes that affects either the aesthetic look to it or the cost of building the product out. For our products, we at least try to make most of our products printable for solvent, latex, and UV cure. That seems to be kind of what I call the big 3 that most of the customers in large format digital printing are using now. But again, it depends. In some films, just are only UV cure because you just can't get a receptor coat on there for other inks to apply to.
Thank you. And Jim, we want to touch about installation too. Do you feel like these films are any more or less challenging than, say, a perforated or perhaps not even perforated, but just something that's not a specialty finish?
So it's really important to follow, the recommendation of the manufacturer, because we all have great adhesives. but they're chemically different. And with ours, we really recommend just a little bit of soap and water, baby shampoo, or Dawn dishwashing detergent. We even pre-mix solution and sell it. We don't make any money on it. It's basically Dawn dishwashing detergent and water, but we don't want you to use things that don't really work well with our adhesive. We had an installation last week. Very experienced crew, never met them before. So, what do you have for liquid? Oh, we're using Rapid Tech. Well, it doesn't work with our material so well. It makes it hard to uninstall because someday you want to take this down. So you really want to pay attention to what the manufacturer says. And the liquid's very important. Sometimes using a squeegee that's heavier can be really important in evacuating water.
Okay, thank you. Now, before I move on to the next segment, we're going to talk about trends. Does anyone want to throw in any other input on what talking about installation, durability, or printability before we move on? No, we're good? Okay, good. I figured we all touched on it, but I wanted to give everyone a fair shot. So like I said, we're always talking about trends. We're looking to inform our readership on some of the hottest things that might benefit their business. I don't think hottest would be the right term for this next topic. However, we've written and talked a lot about the COVID-19 climate and the discussion where there's a lot of social distancing, health, safety signage going around. And that, of course, is related to window graphics. But our specialty films, like the ones we're talking about today, that are emulating the etched, glass, sandblasted look, do you think those are a fit for this kind of an application, Amanda?
Definitely there are trends. If you're using something like a bee-free window that has some printability to it, that would add to your temporary signage. But that's more rated for a 5-year permanent permeability. Window films such as window clings and MDOT are more the temporary messaging that customers are requesting. They are messages can easily be changed is what is in the demand right now. Anybody can install, which is something that's pretty important. Retail workers, volunteers, no tools needed and no experience. So those are kind of the needs and wants that MacTac has been seeing. And then we've also been developing a over laminate or surface protection, which you'll also see common in the marketplace in antimicrobial film. Ours is called PermaGuard Shield. That could be a laminate on these specialty window films for those high touch areas such as doors. The antimicrobial inhibits or suppresses microbes growth and protects against abrasion. It gives your customer peace of mind. So that's something that I'm seeing trends in the marketplace for window media or window films. And do you guys have anything to add?
I had a thought. Very good points, Amanda. When COVID first started, a lot of the signage was very basic, like floor graphic stuff on walls, very directional, in your face, and so we were kind of thinking, well, how can this transfer to some of our other products? And we had a customer. Apologize. We had a customer that actually did. They had people coming back in their office, and they used some etched window glass of some of our Protect Walk actually on glass, and just had messaging more like "be safe," and was more kind of not so much instructional, but just more of a kind of like a branding their safety thoughts about COVID and stuff like that, using it in a design aspect. So maybe things like that there too, kind of getting out of just the straight instructionals, in COVID signage.
Sure.
I totally agree with Wayne there. It's not so straight in your face. You can create a more discreet social distancing message. Right. And depending on the t-shirt, you can remove it once COVID is over, and you remove it clear, and then you're good to go with another product as well.
So recently we had a customer contact us, and they were doing something interesting for COVID. They were making barricades that could move around the office. They were printing our film and applying it to a 1/32 inch clear polycarbonate, but they hadn't had to take that polycarbonate and snap it in a frame. So that was the question to us. We need a strong adhesive to stick to a plastic that'll withstand a bend. So, we worked with them, we found something, but they sent me a picture, and like so many things, confidentiality on this, but I thought that was a great application, and I hope more people pick up that idea because that would be good for film usage, right?
Right.
And one other thing, proud dad moment. My daughter just got a job with Pfizer, and she's helping with the vaccine.
Oh, great.
Great.
Good for her. Congratulations to her. Yes.
Good.
Thank you to her. Now, outside of COVID-19 related signage, because someday COVID is going to go away and we will all shake hands and hug again if we want to hug you. I don't know. But are there any trends or products that revolve around specialty window films that you guys might want to discuss? Anything coming down the pipeline at any of your companies that perhaps you want to kind of share with our viewers today? And anyone, please feel free to just hop on and share.
Sure, happy to. Yeah, specialty glass decoration films like the Aslan color shift films, which is a range of 6 different dichroic effects in transparent and opaque. They are highly trending. You see them in architecture as well as on shop windows. And of course, our dry fly etched effect whiteboard film that is in the office industry. And when the offices are restarting, that is becoming more interesting as well. Yeah, and a part of that, of course, PVC-free solutions, which are becoming more and more interested to larger retail chains or big corporates as well, simply because people are more concerned about their ecological footprint nowadays.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Wayne?
One thing that I've noticed kind of lately, and I don't know if this is going to be a growing thing, but in my house, HGTV and all those home decoration shows is on a constant loop, thanks to my wife. And, I've seen some things where they've actually used window films like in a home decor environment. Maybe they use partitions and they maybe print on them or they just put designs on it. And actually, we've had some people, and actually I've done some to my house where I did my screen glass doors with some window film, that go out to my patio. So maybe that could be the next kind of place for us to take these places in a bigger way.
And I think, Jim, you kind of to bring it full circle at the beginning and mentioned that with the architects and the lead points, that getting architects involved and educated about the kind of possibilities with these types of films, right?
Yeah, actually, in the last year, just before COVID hit, we came up with a optically clear printable film that's made out of 80% recycled water bottles. So, and it looks every bit as good as virgin polyester. It's unbelievable, and it's the same price. So right before COVID, we were getting ready to bring this to ISA and show everybody. Well, we still are. We've had some questions. That product can help you get lead points in an office or any environment under, I think it's a section is 4.1 with recycled content. So, yeah, so we're excited about that product. We're gonna see if we can put a scratch-resistant coating on it next.
Exciting, good. And then Amanda, what about you? Anything coming down the pipeline for MacTac, or just commenting on other trends that you're seeing with specialty window media?
Yeah, I think our Be-Free dry apply is one of those trends that for windows that I'm seeing kind of continually gain more and more popularity. Also using that piece in different ways. I've seen somebody use it because they needed a bit of frosted on a wall. So different applications. I've seen people use it on exterior, install it on the inside of the window, but have an exterior look with different colors and shapes printed onto it. So there are different applications that it's continuing to be used for.
Great. Well, okay. Thank you, everyone. We're going to take some questions now. A few came in before the webinar started, so we're going to tackle those first. One of the questions was, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using a vinyl-based film over a polyester? And this is kind of in regards to printing and installation. Does anyone want to tackle that first?
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I was trying to go too.
Okay. Everybody's got an opinion.
You're in headlights there.
I was like, someone has to answer. I know someone has an answer. All right, Amanda, we'll just
I'll
go
first. Then everybody else can
first,
kind of have that. Polyester, it has that high durability and scratch resistant, and it can be considered a greener film because the product is free of phthalates and chlorine, right? But the printability, only certain printers can use it, whereas vinyl is more economical, commonly available, and comparable with most print assets. So that's kind of my take on it. What do you guys feel?
I was
Yeah,
going
the PVC also has less risk of kinking, so that is always an issue. And of course, printability. The printers say it's easier to print. In regards to the mentioned phthalates, I just have to add our PVC glass decoration films are phthalate-free as well. So it's a good alternative to PET, but of course there are benefits with PET as well when it comes to dimension stability, of course. But the other guys can talk about that one.
Sorry, Renee. I was going to say, if the film's going to see any heat, you have a greater shrinkage profile with most PVCs than you do with PET. Unless, of course, you use a cast. It's not so bad then. The other thing is you can put a scratch-resistant coating on PET. So it remains optically clear longer. And from what I've seen, it uninstalls better. Stays in one piece.
Okay. Wayne,
Yeah.
do you have anything?
Yeah, it's kind of everybody covered it, but I was going to say dimensional stability is a big thing. Optical clarity, ease of installation, and removability are all important things. And I think it's application dependent. I think really a lot of times it's you have to ask the questions about what needs to be done first, and then kind of find the film. Hopefully, that's the best job for that application.
Okay. And then another one we had was, what's the best material to use for exterior window applications during the winter months? Jim?
Well, so depending on the environment, if it's going to be a tough environment, we recommend you over laminate it outdoors. Otherwise, you can use any of ours, short term, 1 to 2 years. But if it's going to be in a tough environment, we recommend over laminating it.
Okay. And anyone else have to add anything?
Yeah, I was just going to jump in. It's dependent on two things, obviously the film, but also the type of adhesive. Like most of our products are solvent-based adhesives, so they hold up really well outside, particularly when it gets colder. They wet install nice too. They don't blush as much. So that's kind of one of those things too. You got to take into account not just the film, but also the whole construction of the product.
Yeah,
just check the product spec to tell you what type of temperatures you can apply the film to.
Right.
Obviously, a dry apply film might have benefits in a colder temperature because simply water isn't freezing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you guys recommend edge sealing outdoors? We do. Just so the moisture doesn't come in through the edges and lift.
Not needed.
Okay.
No.
Next time I won't lead with my chin.
Amanda, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, sometimes when you have a tougher application, because we have some printable films, we suggest reverse printing and install on the inside.
Okay, thank you. And actually, we just got another question in, which I think maybe you guys might have seen me fumble and throw up there and then take down again. Latex printability on any of your films, and specifically they're asking about Lintec.
Yeah, I saw that question come in. Thanks for the prep.
You weren't supposed. No, it's fine.
So, depending on the latex platform, people have printed with our film, and it's looked great. Problem that we've had is on the wet installation. You're gonna soak the film, you're gonna hit it with a squeegee, and the problem we were having was latex ink. It scratched off polyester. So you can do it now if you want to over laminate. We're working. It's an active R&D project. I'm hoping to have something, first half of this year that will not scratch off. We're working very actively with HP and others. So if you over laminate, no problem.
And anyone else want to chime in?
Yeah, we've got some films which are HP latex certified, so you can download the settings from the HP Media Solutions locator.
Yeah, most of our films are latex printable. From the installation standpoint, Jim has a good point, because sometimes the ink doesn't adhere when you're rubbing it with a squeegee. You have to handle it really carefully. But one thing too is we're actually partnering a suite of our green products with latex inks, because out of solvent, latex, UV, really, I think latex is the most green solution. So you kind of have to factor the ink into that as well, where if you're looking for a real green solution, partner with a green film too.
Great. Well, I think that's it for today. We don't have any other questions. Do you guys have anything to add?
Well, one other thing on maybe not using over laminate with ours. Way back in the day, before film companies knew how to actually apply scratch-resistant coatings, they used to take off the back of the liner and use it as a mask. So you squeegee over the mask. That would also protect, if you have a smaller job, it's not practical for a big job. But that's I've actually done that. That's how old I am.
Oh, Jim. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to thank all of you for participating today. And we want everyone to remember that a recording of the webinar will be available online after this. And thank you again for watching. Thank you for all of our guests. And have a great day.
Thanks all.
Thank you for having us.
Bye
Thank you
now.
very much.
Mhm.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.